Hey guys, it's your girl, Hope Love, coming back. Whew. And we're coming in for another chapter, and we're going to see what happened after the last, let's just say, because if you are not, if you're just pressing on this video because it's suggested, you haven't watched the other ones, just, tap on my button, like you obviously know, and just go in, and you should find the other ones beginning to wherever we are now. Okay, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. Viewer discretion is advised. This is Draw the Line by Kate Alex, 2 T's, 2 X's, and this is chapter 27, Hangovers and Coming Out, finally. Even though we were about to see something very interesting last night, but no. No. You get that if you watch the last one. So seriously, go back and watch all of them, and if you missed the last one, that's okay. Just do the same exact thing. Draco woke up the next morning with a groan. Harry had woke up an hour before and was trying to focus on getting his homework. Over his headache. He looked over at Draco now, and he was tired and he tried to open his eyes, and his nose scrunched up from the light. He thought it was oddly cute, the way his forehead scrunched up, but he knew he was in pain, so he moved to help him. Moved to get up to and walked over. Draco's head was pounding, and the light from the window was assaulting his eyes. When he tried to sit up, his stomach turned and he felt nauseous. He lay back down because he felt the bed shift. Oh, so you feel like shit? Yep, welcome to Hangovers. Definitely pg13, guys. Your head hurts. Your head hurt? Harry asked as he reached out to a hand to feel over Draco's forehead. Draco's eyes did not open. Feels like somebody let loose hippography in my head, Draco groaned. Here, take this. Draco opened his eyes and saw Harry holding out a glass of water. Oh, and holding something else in his other hand. What is it? Medicine. Muggle medicine. Dean and Seamus forgot to make the hangover potion, and I'm trash at making them. Oh, okay, that's why, because I was like, hangover potion, okay, we good, but no. Anyway, it'll help for your headache. Swallow it. Muggles are weird, Draco muttered, but still went to try and sip it. Let me help you, Harry said. So it's probably like Tylenol or no, it has to be Tylenol because Tylenol is less on your stomach than Advil. So Harry surely probably already threw up it with Advil. Me, just random facts. Let me help you, Harry said when he saw Draco setting to sit up, struggling, setting down the cup and the pill beside the table. He leaned forward to help Draco gently into a sitting position. When Draco was sitting up against the headboard, Harry picked up the water medicine again. Here, the pill. On the back of your tongue and swallow it with water. Draco said. It took Draco a couple of tries before he got it down. And I made a face. Why do Muggles do that? To feel better? Harry said. Harry laughed slightly. I mean, why are wizards taking Skelegrone when it tastes so bad to heal themselves? Draco made a non-committal noise and closed his eyes. The sun streaming in the windows was brighter than he ever remembered, and everything seemed just a bit louder than usual. Draco's eyes were squeezed shut again, trying to block the sun out, and Harry quickly noticed. Harry got up and closed the curtains on all 4 posters, leaving a light gap on one side he was sitting originally. Better? Draco opened his eyes again to find it much darker than it was before. Much thanks. Of course, Harry said. Harry paused for a moment as he watched Draco shift on his pillows. I can run a bath for you if you like. It might help a bit. Draco stopped moving and then turned to look at him. No one had really been as kind as Harry has to him as was being now, and it made his heart ache. If it possibly liked him even more in the moment. I don't want to bother you. I don't want to be a bother, Jacob said finally. Jacob finally said, You're not. You took care of me when I had a nightmare. Nightmare, Draco suddenly remembered the way Harry looked that night, tears running down his face, moving about on his bed. He wanted to reach out and grab his hand so bad, but he stopped himself at the last second. It's the least I could do, Harry finished. Draco was about to answer when he remembered something. Wasn't today a Hogsmeade weekend? I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to miss out on taking care of me. Mom was seated on the table on the 3 broomsticks, waiting for Hermione to return from the restroom with Ginny and Luna entered. Ginny saw him first and took a deep breath and tugged Luna along after her. Ron looked up. Ginny arrived at the table. Oh, hey, Ginny and Luna. How are you guys? Well, okay. Ginny looked down across the seat from Ron, who's sitting in the booth. Can we sit for a moment? Ginny gestured. Ron looked over towards the bathroom, but he didn't see Hermione yet. Don't worry. Ginny laughed a little breathlessly. I don't know. I'm not here to crash your date. It'll be just a moment. I have something I need to tell you. All right, Ron said, feeling sort of nervous at the serious tone Ginny had used. He just stood up. Both of them sat down. So what's up? Ginny laced her fingers together in her lap and sat down for a moment before gathering her courage and looking up at Ron. Ron was giving her a wordful look. Oh God, my shoulder hurts. Wordful look. Luna and I, Ginny trailed off for a moment. We're dating. I'm bi. I love how she just yells that. We're dating. I'm bi. Wow, great one, Ginny. Ron let out a relieved sigh. and Ginny gave him a funny look. Oh, thank God, you had me there. You had me worried for a moment. I thought you were going to tell me something horrible. You didn't really think I cared, did you? Well, in some he does, but... Well, I wasn't sure. I don't know. Ginny trailed off. She knew to keep it down that Ron... She knew, deep down, that Ron wouldn't care, but a part of her was still a bit worried. She felt a weight had been lifted off her shoulders, though as Ron smiled at her. I don't care who you like, as long as they don't hurt you. Ron sent a look at Luna. Don't go hurting my sister. And she's like, I won't, Luna said, and reached out her hand to grab Ginny's hand. Like, help me. What's going on over here? Hermione said as she walked up to the table. A smile. Did I miss the party? She slid into the booth next to Ron, pulled her butterbeer up to herself. Oh, Ginny just came to say hi, Ron said. Not sure Ginny wanted everyone to know. We're dating, Luna and I. Ginny suddenly confident after Ron's acceptance. That's great, Hermione said happily, and Ginny beamed over at her. Do you two want to join us? I can get a waitress over here if you like. Ginny looked over at Ron, who had a stifled laugh, and saw Ron's funny look. It's all right. I'll leave you to your date. Ginny and Luna stood up to go find a table. Hermione got up to the other side of the table. Is everyone... I'm sorry, I can't. Is everyone gay? Ron said, sliding down the booth, picking back up his drink. Hermione let out a laugh. Well, you aren't as far as I know. Lavender definitely isn't either. Not helping, Ron said, but it couldn't help cracking a smile. I don't want you to miss out on it taking care of me, Draco said. I was not planning to go today. Don't worry about it. I'm a little hungover too. Still, Draco looked up. Draco looked back up at him. Listen, I don't mind, okay? Draco nodded his head numbly. He wasn't really being taken care of by any other than his mother. So, do you want me to run a bath for you? A small smile spread across Draco's face. Harry grinned. I'll take that as a yes. Draco watched as Harry stood and disappeared out of the gap in the curtains, and soon after he heard the water turn on. Out of a sigh. Harry was just too good for me. Too good for him. Sorry, I thought he was saying it. Too good for him. No matter what Harry said, he deserved much better than him, Draco thought. Harry returned a few minutes later. Need help getting up? No, I can do it, Draco said, moving to get up. After a few seconds, it became clear he couldn't, and with a chuckle, Harry moved to help him. Thanks, Draco murmured when they got to the bathroom. No problem. Call me if you need anything. Draco stood there a moment after the door was closed before turning to the steaming bath. It was the perfect temperature. Harry moved back to his bed, where he had left his homework had been left forgotten. His homework had been left and forgotten. He picked up Persian's book, started looking it over. He still couldn't believe he was back here. Sometimes it was weird to come back to normal school year after so much had happened the year before. He couldn't complain though. It had given him a second chance. A lot of things. And it also allowed him to be friends with Jacob. Or more than friends. Moving over to the end of his bed, he reached under and pulled out the runner's map. It had been a while since he'd really looked at it. I solemnly swear I'm up to no good, Harry said. Of course you do, tapping his wand against the parchment, watching as the ink spread across the page. He observantly searched his name, and his eyes trailed over to Jacob's name. Oh, so close to his. Harry was reminded of all the time he had spent watching Draco's name move over the parchment paper in 6th year, and the couple of times his eyes had sought out Draco's name during the time he was searching for Horcruxes, wondering why he hadn't realized sooner that he liked Draco. He had set the parchment down beside his down on his bed. His homework was sitting open on his bed, and he decided he should probably work on it before Draco got up. Draco sat into the bath until the warm water ran cold, and then drug himself out unwillingly. When he walked out, he found Harry writing his Persian's essays and a look of concentration on his face. The concentration was quickly ruined as he noticed Draco, and his face quickly colored, thinking about the night before. Draco notices Harry's gaze and moved over to his bed as quickly as his stomach and dizzy head would allow him. He grabbed some clothes out of the dresser and tucked onto his bed to change behind the curtains. When he came out, he was dressed in what looked like pajamas, bottoms, and a dark green muggle sweatshirt. Can't blame you. Where'd you get that from? Harry said, eyeing the sweatshirt. Thought you hated muggle things. I don't hate muggle things, and for the record, Pansy gave it to me and it's comfortable. Mm-hmm, Harry said with a smirk. Want to go down to the common room? I think everyone is at Hogsmeade, so you can sit by the fire. All right. Just as Harry suspected, no one in the room, and they sat down on the couch right now in front of the fire. Harry pulling out his Transfiguration homework, Draco pulling out a book. The fire was warm. Draco was drowsy, not even 20 minutes after sitting down. His eyes were struggling to stay open on the book. The book was slipping from his fingers. Harry looked over when he felt something hit his shoulder. Draco asleep, leaning against him. His book held fingers resting on his lap. Harry smiled at the sight. Draco's lips were slightly parted, and you could feel his breath against his neck. Harry reached forward, making sure not to disrupt Draco, closed the book, marking it with a piece of parchment. Then he turned back to Draco and contemplated for a moment before placing his arms gently around Draco. Draco let out a sigh and asleep and snuggled in closer to Harry. He ran his fingers through Draco's damp hair, messing it up just slightly, turning back to his homework. He kept his fingers in Draco's hair, nervously running. Okay, what? Sorry, I had something came up for some reason. Turning back to his homework, and he kept fingers ominously running his hands through it as he worked. Okay, well guys, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and also to get me to 100, there are privacy settings, so obviously I understand if you want to put those on, that's the way to go. Otherwise than that, don't forget to leave your suggestions in the comments down below. And this is Hope Love signing off. Don't also forget to use the code word. Okay, now I'm signing off. Bye.